Welcome to AI Side Hustle, the podcast that helps you make money online using artificial intelligence. Before we start, please visit our website at ai-sidehustle.blogspot.com for free tools, prompts, and resources. Do not forget to follow us, like, and share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. DALL, the complete guide to OpenAI's AI image generation platform, 2026 edition. Introduction. DALL is OpenAI's family of text-to-image AI models that generate highly detailed, photorealistic images from natural language descriptions. First introduced in January 2021, the technology has evolved dramatically through multiple generations. The third generation, DALL 3, released in September 2023 and deeply integrated into ChatGPT, represented a quantum leap in prompt understanding, image quality, and usability. It turned the concept of prompting into a natural conversation, allowing anyone to describe an image in plain English and receive a stunning visual in seconds. However, as of April 2026, DALL is approaching its final days. OpenAI has announced that both DALL 2 and DALL 3 will be officially retired on May 12, 2026. The company has introduced a new generation of image models under the GPT image family as replacements, fundamentally changing the API and request structure for developers. This guide covers everything you need to know: the legacy of DALL, its powerful features, how it compares to other AI image generators, and what the future looks like with GPT image models. The legacy: DALL generations vs. GPT image models, 2026. Understanding what DALL is today requires a clear distinction between its generations and the new GPT image models that replace it. DALL 3's greatest contribution was making AI image generation accessible to non-experts. It integrated natively into ChatGPT, so users could simply describe what they wanted in a conversational manner, and ChatGPT would automatically rewrite the prompt into a DALL-optimized format behind the scenes. This removed the need for complex prompt engineering, unlike tools such as Midjourney or Stable Diffusion. Key features and tools in detail. 1. Exceptional semantic understanding, prompt adherence. DALL 3's standout achievement was its ability to follow complex, multi-element prompts with remarkable precision. If you asked for a red umbrella in the bottom left corner of a rainy street scene with a yellow taxi in the background, DALL 3 placed those elements exactly as described. This made it the industry leader in prompt fidelity, the degree to which the generated image matches the literal description. This literal interpretation was both a strength and a limitation. It excelled at producing exactly what you asked for, but its results could sometimes feel more literal and less creatively interpretive compared to Midjourney's aesthetic flair. 2. Native integration with ChatGPT. Unlike standalone tools, DALL 3 lived inside ChatGPT. Subscribers to ChatGPT Plus, which costs $20 per month, could generate images directly within a chat conversation, refining outputs iteratively. ChatGPT would automatically expand brief user descriptions into fully optimized DALL prompts, translating across 20+ languages seamlessly. For example, describing a woman in a Scandinavian kitchen at breakfast in Arabic or Turkish produced the same high-fidelity results as English prompts. This lowered the barrier to entry dramatically. Anyone who could type in ChatGPT could generate professional images. 3. Text rendering in images. One of DALL 3's most useful capabilities was generating legible text inside images, such as logos, signs, posters, product packaging, and labels. Most AI image generators struggle with readable text, but DALL 3 handled it reliably. This made it invaluable for marketing materials, social media graphics, advertisements, and e-commerce product mock-ups. 4. In painting, image editing. DALL 3 allowed users to edit specific parts of an image without regenerating the entire composition. In the ChatGPT interface, you could click a pencil icon to enter editing mode, drag a mask over the area you wanted to change, and type instructions like change the woman's dress to emerald green or add a cup of coffee on the table. The AI would then regenerate only the masked region while preserving the rest of the image perfectly. This feature was a favorite among designers and product photographers who needed to make quick adjustments without starting from scratch. 5. Outpainting, canvas expansion. Outpainting allowed users to extend an image beyond its original boundaries. DALL-E 3 would analyze the existing visual elements such as shadows, lighting, perspective, and textures, and intelligently generate new content that seamlessly matched the original composition. This was particularly useful for converting square images into social media-friendly landscape formats, expanding product shots into broader scenes, or extending backgrounds for compositing. 6. Multiple aspect ratios and high resolution. DALL-E 3 supported a variety of aspect ratios and resolutions through the OpenAI API. These included square at 1024 by 1024 pixels, landscape at 1792 by 1024 pixels, portrait at 1024 by 1792 pixels, 2K output resolution for detailed print-ready images, and 360-degree panoramas. These options gave creators flexibility for different platforms and use cases, from social media posts to large-format printing. 7. Style selection, natural vs. vivid. DALL-E 3 offered two distinct style settings. Natural mode produced images that looked like real photographs, ideal for product photography and corporate materials. Vivid mode produced more saturated, artistic, and dramatic images, better for marketing, social media, and creative storytelling. 8. Prompt rewriting by GPT-4. Whenever a user described an image in conversational language, ChatGPT automatically ran the description through GPT-4 to rewrite it into an optimized prompt tailored for DALL-E 3. This prompt enhancement feature meant you did not need to learn specialized syntax or keywords. Simply describe what you wanted, and the AI took care of the translation. This was one reason why DALL-E 3 felt so much more intuitive than alternatives. 9. Safety and watermarking. OpenAI implemented a C2PA watermark embedded in the metadata of DALL-E 3 generated images to combat misinformation and deepfakes. The model also refused requests to generate images in the style of living artists or to create violent, hateful, or sexually explicit content. These safety features were built directly into the model's layers. 10. Commercial usage rights. Under OpenAI's terms of service, users who generated images via ChatGPT Plus or the API owned full rights to their creations, including the right to reprint, sell, and use them commercially. However, there was an important disclaimer. Because AI models train on publicly available data and some artists continue to litigate training data usage, enterprise use, especially for luxury brands or public institutions, came with some legal risk. What's new in 2026? Latest developments. Several major changes have reshaped DALL-E's landscape in 2026. First, model retirement. OpenAI officially announced that both DALL-E 2 and DALL-E 3 will be retired on May 12, 2026. After that date, any API calls using the DALL-E 2 or DALL-E 3 model strings will return an error, with no fallback or grace period. Second, transition to GPT image models. OpenAI's active image generation models are now GPT Image 1, GPT Image 1 Mini, and GPT Image 1.5. However, this is not a drop-in replacement. The request and response structures have changed. Third, GPT Image 2 launch approaching. OpenAI is preparing to launch GPT Image 2, an entirely new image generation model built on a fresh architecture. If you have code that calls DALL-E 3 via the API, you need to migrate immediately. How to use DALL-E, pricing and access. Via ChatGPT Plus for individuals. DALL-E 3 is accessed via a ChatGPT Plus subscription, which costs $20 per month. This subscription also includes access to GPT-4o, advanced voice mode, and file uploads. Free ChatGPT users gained limited access to DALL E3 in August 2024, but with generation caps. DALL E3 users receive approximately 50 image credits per day, which is more than sufficient for most individuals. Via OpenAI API for developers and businesses. The OpenAI API provides programmatic access to DALL E3 for integration into applications. Pricing as of April 2026 is as follows. For standard quality, 1024 by 1024 costs 4 cents per image, while portrait and landscape sizes cost 8 cents per image. For HD quality, 1024 by 1024 costs 8 cents per image, while portrait and landscape sizes cost 12 cents per image. For GPT Image 1.5, the latest active model, pricing ranges from less than 1 cent per image for low quality to 13 cents per image for high quality. Via Microsoft Designer and Bing. DALL E3 was also integrated into Microsoft's Designer tool, formerly known as Bing Image Creator, which offered free image generation with daily credits. DALL EVS. Competitors, 2026 comparison. DALL E3's primary strength was prompt adherence and text rendering. It was very easy to use thanks to ChatGPT integration. Text in images was excellent. Photorealism was high. Artistic interpretation was literal and precise. Customization was low. Access point was ChatGPT Plus at $20 per month. Maximum resolution was 1792 by 1792. It was best for marketing graphics, posters, e-commerce, and text-heavy designs. Midjourney version 8's primary strength was aesthetic quality and artistic style. It offered moderate ease of use via web app or Discord. Text in images was good, much improved in version 8. Photorealism was very high. Artistic interpretation was creative and stylized. Customization was moderate. Access point was Discord or web app at $10 to $120 per month. Native resolution was 2K+. It was best for concept art, brand visuals, and editorial photography. Stable Diffusion offered customization and control via specialized tools. Ease of use was difficult due to technical setup required. Text in images was poor without specialized models. Photorealism was moderate but improvable. Artistic interpretation varied depending on fine-tuning. Customization was very high thanks to the open-source ecosystem. Access was self-hosted for free or via API. Maximum resolution was up to 2048 by 2048. It was best for professional pipelines, face and character consistency, and fine-tuned workflows. In summary, DALL E3 excelled at literal accuracy. It was the tool for generating exactly what your prompt said, especially when legible text inside the image was required for posters, packaging, and logos. Midjourney prioritized aesthetics. If you wanted images that look right with minimal prompt engineering and cinematic quality, Midjourney remained the industry benchmark. Stable Diffusion offered unmatched control. For professional workflows that required consistent characters, exact poses, or fine-tuned styles, the open-source ecosystem gave the most precision but demanded technical expertise. Practical use cases. For social media graphics, DALL E3 can generate weekly themed posts, Instagram assets, YouTube thumbnails, and LinkedIn banners in minutes. Its text rendering is a standout feature for creating quote graphics, event promos, or product announcements without hiring a designer. For blog and newsletter headers, DALL E3 replaces generic stock photography with custom imagery tailored to each article. A single prompt can generate unique headers for dozens of articles with consistent branding. For e-commerce product visuals, DALL E3 creates mockups for unreleased products, generates lifestyle images showing products in use, and builds catalog imagery with accurate labels and descriptions. It significantly reduces the cost of pre-production visual testing. For pitch decks and client presentations, DALL E3 produces custom cover slides, infographics, diagrams, and scene illustrations for investor pitches or sales documents, making decks look premium without expensive stock assets. For ad creative testing, DALL-E 3 generates 10 to 20 variations of ad visuals such as thumbnails, banners, and sponsored posts before committing to a photo shoot. You can test which concepts drive higher engagement and iterate quickly. For educational materials, DALL-E 3 creates diagrams, custom illustrations, and visual aids for lesson plans, training modules, or ebooks. Its support for high-resolution 2K exports and 360-degree panoramas makes it suitable for detailed educational content and immersive virtual tours. Prompt engineering tips for DALL-E 3. Effective prompts should explicitly cover 4 layers: subject, style, composition, and technical details. A weak prompt would be a futuristic city. A strong prompt would be a futuristic city floating above clouds with bioluminescent skyscrapers connected by glowing bridges, soft volumetric fog, golden hour lighting diffused through atmospheric haze, shot from low angle with wide 24mm lens, highly detailed, 8K resolution, cinematic color grade with teal and orange tones. Use negative prompts. Telling the AI what not to include can be as important as describing what you want. Examples include no deformed hands or extra fingers, no watermarks or signatures, no blurry faces or distorted anatomy, and no text artifacts or unreadable signage. Leverage chat's automatic prompt rewriting. Describe your image naturally in your own language without worrying about technical syntax. ChatGPT optimizes the prompt for DALL-E in the background. Use comparison references. For specific aesthetics, reference publications or styles such as Architectural Digest style, Kinfolk magazine aesthetic, Studio Ghibli color palette, or cinematic grade like Blade Runner 2049. Test multiple variations. Rather than perfecting one prompt, generate 4 distinct alternatives and iterate on the best one. This rapid prototyping approach helps you quickly find the right visual direction. A note on the transition. The DALL-E era is officially closing. OpenAI is sunsetting its older image generation models and pivoting developers and users toward its modernized architecture. This shift means that if you are a ChatGPT Plus subscriber, your experience will automatically transition to the latest integrated image models, but prompt styles and interaction patterns may shift. If you are a developer using the API, you must actively audit your code for DALL-E 2 and DALL-E 3 strings, model parameters, and parsing logic before May 12, 2026. If you build integrations expecting URL outputs, you will need to implement base64 decoding and image hosting solutions. Pros and cons. Pros include exceptional prompt following. DALL-E 3 understood complex descriptions better than any competitor. Legible text rendering generated readable signs, logos, and labels reliably. Deep ChatGPT integration made natural conversation replace complex prompt syntax. It was user-friendly with no learning curve, working in plain English or any language. Commercial rights meant users owned their generated images for resale and commercial use. Multiple aspect ratios gave flexibility for all platforms. In-painting and out-painting provided advanced editing without external software. Cons include pay-to-access. DALL-E 3 required a ChatGPT Plus subscription with no standalone free tier. Generic aesthetic meant images could look like stock photography or clean illustration rather than distinctive art. It offered less artistic style than Midjourney, prioritizing literal accuracy over creative interpretation. It was insufficient for print because max resolution of 1792 by 1792 limited large format printing. No character consistency meant it could not maintain the same character across multiple prompts. And most importantly, DALL-E 3 as a named model is retiring on May 12, 2026. Replacement models have different request and response structures. We hope you found this article useful for your AI side hustle journey. To discover more tools, strategies, and step-by-step guides, make sure to visit our official website. The address is ai-sidehustle.blogspot.com. We publish new articles every week. Please support our work by doing 3 simple things. First, click the follow button on our blog so you never miss an update. Second, give this article a like if you enjoyed it. Third, share it with your friends, colleagues, or anyone who wants to make money online using artificial intelligence. Together, we are building a community of smart side hustlers. Thank you for being part of it.